am so excited to share with you a way that you can use our creative sky switches even if you don't have Photoshop. We found this free program called PicMonkey. It allows you to edit photos, create collages, and use our sky switch overlays. I'm going to show you how easy it is to use and customize these overlays using PicMonkey. The first thing you need to do is open your internet browser and go to picmonkey.com. You do not need to have an account or log in order to edit, although you can sign up for a membership if you want to. So once you're on the main screen here, the first thing you want to do is go up here and click on this edit button. And this little drop down will pop up and you just want to pick wherever you have your photo that you want to edit. Mine's on my computer, so I'm going to click here and I'm going to go to my creative sky switches. That's where I have this saved. Wherever you have it saved on your computer, that's where you need to find it. And you want to choose the photo that you want to add your sky to. So I'm going to click on open. And then here's the image that I want to add the sky to. You can tell that it's pretty blown out. I mean, you can see a little bit of clouds, but I want to give it a more drastic look. So we're going to go in here and you can see all of these different tools. You can play around with those if you want, but I'm going to show you how to use the overlay tool, which is the butterfly right here. And then they already have some pre-made overlays you can look at, but we're going to focus on this button here that says Your Own, because that's where you're going to add the overlays that you purchase from us into the PicMonkey program. So click on Your Own, and then you want to find the picture of the sky that you want to switch it with. So I'm going to click on Open. That's the one I want to use. And just takes a minute here. Okay, so here it is, and you can see it's quite smaller than the image. So what we want to do is go over to this circle here in the corner and click and hold and drag it until it covers the picture. Now you can also click here in the middle and drag and move it up and around wherever you need it to be. And then I'm going to take this bottom circle and do the same thing and drag it this way. Now you just want to make sure that the sides are completely covered, and you want to make sure that it covers where your land and your sky meet. That way the whole sky is covered. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my people and my trees back by going over here to this overlay box and clicking on blend modes. I'm going to use the multiply one. You can see when you run over them the different effects that it will use if you click on that one. I'm going to use multiply. We're going to get a nice sunset here. Now I'm going to go through and erase this bottom section here. So you need to go to your overlay pop-up box and click on eraser. And I like to move my brush hardness down to 0 because if you have it higher, you can have some harsh eraser lines on your photo and you don't want that. You want it to look natural. I'm going to use a pretty big brush for this first one. I'm going to have it set at 76. And all you do is click on the area you want to erase and just run this over it. I'm just going to do this bottom section down here. And don't worry if you erase too much because you can go back and add it back in later, and I'll show you how to do that. You just want to make sure you get rid of this bottom line right here, this harsh line. We want to make this look as natural as possible. So we don't want it to look like it was clearly photoshopped, or in this case, PicMonkeyed. Alright, so I'm going to go through here. Just erase a little bit more. Through here. Okay, so now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click on this tool right next to the brush. Move my brush size down a little bit, and this will allow you to paint back the area that you don't want, or that you don't want erased. You can go in here. Let me come back and erase this part here. My mouse has a mind of its own sometimes. So you just grab the part you want to erase. And I'm not going to be real precise right now. I just want to kind of show you how it works. Normally I would go in here and fine tune it and make sure it's perfect, but I just want you to get the basic idea of how this works. So now we want to brush it off of our people. And you want to make sure that there's not like a halo around them. You'll see what I mean in a minute because I'm going to make sure that I get one on here. See how there's white around her hair here? You want to make sure that the sky touches your subjects. That way it doesn't look like the sky was added in. I would normally pick a smaller brush and just make sure this is really fine-tuned, but I just want to make sure that I get everything so I can do this quickly to show you. And remember, we can always go back in and fix this. Okay, I'm going to go back in real quick and just bring back some of these areas. I'm not gonna do it perfect, but I'm gonna get in some of them just so you can get a better idea of what would look like when it's done. I'm normally much more precise with this. Anyway, you just paint the sky back on in the areas where I've made white here. And so I'm through here. Down in here. Okay, so ideally you would go through and get rid of all of the white spots here. I'm not going to finish this up right now, but you can also, I wanted to show you how you can fade this. So if it's a little bit too bright for your picture, you can take it down some, make it more subtle. I think that looks good here. And then, like I said, just go in and get rid of this halo, get in real close to your subject, and sorry, then you can go in and save it. So we're going to pretend like this is the final product, even though I would never ever finish it like this. And go up and click save. And then you just rename your file. And you can save it as a JPEG or a PNG. I like to save photos as JPEG, so that's where I'm going to keep it. And then you can choose your image quality and then go down to save to my computer. Find where you want it to be saved and then click on save. All right, and then when Masterpiece Save pops up in the corner, then you're all set.